Hey guys, it's me Maro, and this script may potentially be 8 months old, but I don't care. I love women, okay? I mean, I like robots. I've already said it before, at least I think I've said it before, but my favorite game of all time is NieR Automata, a game about robots, well, technically androids, fighting off robots and learning the truth about God. Yeah, that's a drastic turn of events. The game is fantastic, but just recently, we got an anime for it. And at first, when I heard about this, I was a bit skeptical, but I was overall pretty excited. And thankfully, when it came out, it didn't suck total ass like a specific... Yeah, the anime was actually really good, even better than the game in some cases. But only some, because just saying, the game is still the definitive way to experience it. Other than that though, I still wanted to get figures of the NieR characters, and for the most part, I wanted the Figuarts figures since they're accurate-ish to the game, and they were the only ones that were really out at the time. And I have A2 since, I reviewed her like last year. I wanted to get 2B since she's like the main character, but yeah, I didn't feel like paying $140 for a tiny figure. So really, I was out of luck. I don't have a way to get a 2B figure, and out of the two of them, I wanted to get her before 9S. So, little sad moment later, I go on Twitter and I see something awesome. Hell yeah! SH Figuarts, not Monster Arts, decided to make a 2B figure from NieR Automata version 1.1a, aka the anime. From promotional art, the figure looked amazing, so you bet your ass that I wanted to get it as soon as possible. But, after I saw that it was $90, I was once again a bit skeptical. August 2023 turned to January 2024, then March, then June, then September, then November. Yeah, I waited a year and 3 months to get this figure. Well, I actually wasn't planning on getting this figure, really. I actually got it because of something I'll explain later. But, yeah, I got the figure. So for today's video, I'll be reviewing the one and the only, though very long-awaited review, the SH Figuarts 2B from NieR Automata version 1.1a. I don't think I really have to explain who 2B is, but I guess I will anyways. Spoiler alert. 2B is an android, just like A2, but instead of being a little bitch, she's on the Yorha project, a project that totally doesn't deal with human instrumentality or anything like that. No. She's in a battle unit. Maybe. On her mission to the surface, she meets up with 9S, a scanner unit, and together both of them explore the surface to kill off robots, do side quests, meet up with past characters, and literally kill each other. Yeah, it was explained in the anime that 2B was actually an executioner unit, so not 2B, but 2E. And because of 9S knowing the truth of Yorha, she had to kill him like 20 times. So thank our girl A2 for saving 9S, and so yeah, I do really like her. And I also like this box. The box for this figure is a standard SH Figuarts box, but I've never bought an SH figure before, besides the guts, but again, this review was made before Guts, so shut up. And Ultima, but he's a Monster Art, so shut up! You got a clear plastic bit in the front to see the figure on the inside, 2B on the front doing the Glory to Mankind pose, and on the sides and back shows the figure in some cool poses. So box-wise, I'm more of a fan of the unique Bring Arts design, but this box is still pretty cool. But now let's move on to the actual figure. And wow, I was way too skeptical a year ago. This figure looks pretty much perfect to her in-game anime look. Her head is a lot more exaggerated to be more anime-esque, and the coloring on it looks fairly accurate. Her body in the anime and game is pretty similar, so for this figure, the body seems to be also very accurate. Some parts of this figure also use a different plastic material, like the skirt. Because it's going to be floating like this, it's made out of a softer plastic, which is really good. Sturdy enough to hide her thighs, but soft enough to move out of the way when you pose. Wait, hold on, we're not there yet. A sucky thing though is that some parts of this figure are pretty sharp. These arm details right here are pretty pointy, and they don't use the same softer plastic, so try not to cut yourself on them. And they didn't forget the pattern on her chest! And, this little detail on her skirt? Okay, they didn't forget her ass. Happy now? The paint on the body also seems pretty accurate as well. Majority of it is black, while there's little bits and details sprinkled around the figure. Other than that though, this figure looks amazing. Maybe they should use this amount of effort into their SH Monster figures, because goddamn, it's just night and day. So the figure looks good, but does it pose good? Well, let's look at it. First we got a ball joint at the head and at the base of the neck. so she can kinda look down quite a bit, and do a side-to-side motion. The shoulder is on a ball joint, but it's a bit limited. The, I think bicep is on a ball joint. The elbow is on a double hinge joint. Once again, be careful of this little bit right here. And the hand is on a hinge joint, which can also swivel. There's 2 joints at the waist, so she can do an arcing back and a crunch, and a side-to-side movement. The leg is on a ball joint, so it can move pretty far forward, but not a whole lot back due to the ass. Huh. The thigh can swivel, a double bend at the knee, and finally a hinge joint swivel at the foot. Wait, no pivot? Wait, what?! Besides the articulation on this figure being amazing, the leg joint being limited is a bit annoying, and the lack of a pivot at the foot is actually annoying. She does a shit ton of dynamic poses in the game, so SH would have really benefited from a foot pivot, but you could still get her into some dynamic and cool poses, so it's alright. But now it's time to look at her accessories. First, she comes with 3 sets of hands along with 1 extra one. Besides these fists, you get spread out hands and holding hands, but you also get this hand, which at first could make for a horrible joke, but it's actually to replicate the Glory to Mankind salute, in which I can kinda do it? It's a bit hard to do, but you can do it. With these holding hands, you can have her hold her sword. I don't know what the sword is called. It's a pretty good grip, so it won't fall out anytime soon. Also, it just makes her look so much more badass. Next set of accessories are these extra faces, in which she comes with 4 extra ones. Besides her normal face, you get this face, where she is yelling or screaming or... I'm not gonna make that joke. It looks really good on her, and fits with her being a combat machine. These next 3 faces have her blindfold off. You get a neutral face, which looks fucking awesome! The details on her eyes, yes, her eyes, are fantastic! I think it's printed on, in which there's no paint mistakes, so me happy. You then get a face with her eyes closed, which is oddly cute in a way. And finally, you got a face of her screaming again, but this time her eyes look mad. All these face accessories are really good, but I wouldn't say they are the best accessory here, because the next accessory you get is her very own stand. Oh hell yeah, now this is awesome! Whenever a figure comes with a stand, I love it so much more. Now you can get her in some pretty dynamic poses, which is really good. And also it's pretty sturdy, so me happy again. But now we come to our final and best accessory, that being Pod 042. What a better accessory than her own companion. I just love it so much. Pod 042 is her battle droid thingy thing, and it's sculpted very, very nicely. You got all these little details on here, it's painted really good, and you even get some articulation in the arms. Wait, what? Yeah, I love this thing. It's just, there's so much attention to detail in here, I think it's awesome. Although one minor nitpick I do have with this figure is that I wish the arms could swivel just like in NieR Automata. But other than that, it looks amazing. He even comes with his own stand piece so you can stick him next to 2B. I love it. Overall though, 2B's accessories are awesome. Yeah, sure, it would have been cool if she had the storage ability just like the A2 figure that I have, but with what she comes with, I'm pretty impressed. Since she's an SH Figuarts figure, she's the typical 6 inches tall. In other words, it's time for some size comparisons. Here she is next to the Nier's Nendroid, the Hiya Toys Godzilla 2014, the Robot Spirits AV Unit 1, the SH Figuarts Guts Berserker Armor, and finally, here she is next to the Bringarts A2. She is a bit larger than her, so sadly they will not scale well with each other. Now it's time for the price, and like I said earlier, she's $90, which isn't too bad for what you get, but I can see why most people would probably hesitate on buying her. However, this is where the here's where the cool thing comes into play. I got this figure on sale for $60. In other words, a full 30% off. What the fuck? For a figure like this, $60 is actually so worth it. Hell, it's actually the reason why I picked her up in the first place. She was on sale on Amazon, and it was also free shipping for only like 2 to 3 days. So, I was just, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Right now on Amazon, she's $74, which is a bit more than what I paid for, but still a fairly decent price. I'd say pick her up when she goes on sale again, because once again, $60 is just insane. So overall, my final thoughts on this figure should be pretty clear. I love this figure. For such a long time, I wanted a 2B figure. And to be honest, my only choice was the Bringarts figure. In which, yeah, no. But now that I finally have this figure in hand, I am just speechless. This figure is honestly way better than the Figuarts NieR figure, at least what I'd imagine the 2B figure to be like. The figure is larger, has more articulation, better paint, honestly better plastic, and it's just cheaper. And yeah, I know this is the anime version and we shouldn't compare it to the in-game version, but even then, I think the look of this figure is a lot better in comparison to its anime version compared to the Figuarts in the game version. So for me, I give this figure a 9 out of 10. It's so close to being perfect, but minor things are holding it back just a bit. If you're a big fan of the NieR series like me, I recommend picking up this figure, because coincidentally, we also got some more NieR figures coming out from SH Figuarts, and you know for a fact, I am definitely picking them all up.
Why does the A2 have to be a Sigma? I want an essence of her, god damn!
Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Once again, this video was supposed to come out last year, but episode 5 fucked me. But now I'm finally happy that it's out, and I hope you guys are too. More videos are coming out in the future, along with some potential streams, if I feel like it. But until then though, thank you all for watching and sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.